This is Ray, Manchester United supporter, and fuck the rest of the league. Red Devils are going to win this shit. Peace out, baby. Oh, and you're listening to the DU Football Show.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Ray.
Came back with the thunder, too.
Yeah, well, I would hope that his team would have came up with any thunder, even, like, better than a thud. It was pretty fucking horrible.
Fell flat on her face.
It was bad. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am me. Well, I'm Sam Houston. I'm trying to do my damn injury time
bit there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I am your host, Sam Houston. Across the way from me is the man embracing the bourbon. Samuel
Bourbon
Graham.
whisperer, they call me.
I would sleep with that bourbon. That bourbon could share a bed with me. That's for damn sure.
Definitely.
We're gonna get to that in a little bit. How you doing, buddy?
Doing very well. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, doing all right.
Back in fourth place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, back and forth place.
Get in.
I am convinced that the Premier League on NBC or whatever they want to call it now was so much for Liverpool winning the title. I think they are equally as for Everton going down. Like, they barely talk about Everton at all. Everton's sitting 1 point above the drop zone, and now everything is Everton's going down. Everton's going down. Everton's going like, motherfucker, they still got games in hand. Like, next week.
Against those in and around them as well.
Right. And it's like, oh, okay, they've lost a bunch of matches. You wish you didn't lose the Southampton one, but they were the informed team at that time. And then you lose 1-0 to fucking City, and then this was an ass whooping, you know? This one sucked.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, we'll come on to that.
yeah, exactly. We're recording at DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review. There it is.
And share with the footballing friend.
Exactly. And there, should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Very easy, actually. It's at DUFootballShow at gmail.com. At DUFootballShow on all the social medias. DUFootballShow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. Sorry.
See, worrying about my cough, and you fucked
I know,
up your
you get me all fucked up over here.
What's your excuse? I mean, mine is I'm dying. At least, you know, I have something going on there. You, it's just bad broadcasting.
I'm just giddy with excitement, really.
Heard. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirit. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, we crack the top 10 of Whiskey Advocate's top 20, and we do it with a fucking dinger.
Yes, we do. Speaking of that, I don't know, did I say it on the main show or injury time last week? That big diss. That's really good that I heard on another podcast I listened to.
Yes, it was on the main show.
It was on the main show. That just popped into my head about my performance there if I was a few minutes ago.
Yes, very true.
Too much confidence, not enough talent.
Yep.
Anyway, this is Wild Turkey 1. This is their Master's Keep. 101 proof.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
like a normal turkey.
The rating blurb comes from David Fleming, and they rated this a 93. Run you about $175, but again, expect to pay a little extra because it made the list. As we said already, this is number 10. There's a father-son dynamic at work between Wild Turkey's two master distillers on this release, with the patriarch Jimmy Russell preferring 8 to 10 years of aging and son Eddie favoring the older stuff. The final blend thus combines 8 to 10-year-old and 14-year-old bourbons, and that blend was then finished in a mix of toasted and new charred American oak barrels. Refined maturity
toasted barrels are a lot of fun. I'll talk about them in a second.
Yeah, refined maturity becomes apparent on the first sip. It's creamy and well-spiced, with flavors of chocolate covering marshmallow, caramel, cotton candy, and marvelous touches of aged tobacco leaf. This is a big whiskey that carries its age with grace and balance. And I totally fucking agree
It is
with every
fucking
word
phenomenal.
that they said.
It's funny. This is not considered one of those unicorn bottles, the Master Keeps series. It should be.
Yeah.
Every single year they come out with a Master's Keep, and every single year it's a fucking home run. Why? Because Turkey has been making whiskey forever. And all this is just really good barrels getting older that they then blend perfectly. And the toasted barrel finish, that's starting to become a little more popular in the whiskey world.
Yep.
But what you do is toast it like a wine barrel. So you just let that wood sweat a little. So it's almost like creme brulee kind of sugar that the wood gives. And it's just so fucking lovely. This Master Keep, our good buddy and Patreon supporter, Mr. Rice, he had gotten a bottle of the Decades, which was one of the Master Keep releases. And this was I'd say about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And him and a bunch of his friends were going up to Maine for a friend's wedding, and everybody was bringing a good bottle, and somebody was like bringing a bottle of, Macallan 25 and stuff. And he was like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and grab a scotch. I was like, we got to have the little taster of this whiskey. And I was like, that's the whiskey. Take that whiskey. And I guarantee you, people are going to look at it first and go, oh, Wild Turkey. And then they're going to drink it, and it's going to be, of all the whiskeys brought, it's going to be the home run number one. And of course it was. Everyone was like, that was the best fucking whiskey of the day, of the weekend. It was
Right.
like, yeah, of course it was. Of course it was, because it's fucking good fucking people who know how to make whiskey and making it really, really
well.
fucking
Yep.
well.
It's exceptional.
Yeah.
It's absolutely exceptional.
Yeah, that's
The chocolate up front is actually pronounced.
tobacco leaf. You absolutely
You
get.
get a little bit of that vanilla and marshmallow. It's fucking delicious. I scoffed at it a little bit when I saw it on the list. It was like, oh, fucking Wild Turkey. But I never had the experience of enjoying a Master's Keep from before, ever.
What
So
do you
this is
think?
my first one. It's amazing. If you can find a bottle of it, do it.
It's one of those kind of whiskeys that honestly, if you're a big time collector, find yourself a Master's Keep every year.
Yeah.
It's not going to be bad. It's not. You're going to be happy with it. It's going to be stellar.
You're gonna
Just
pay
really-
for it. You're gonna pay for it, but it's gonna be worth it.
It's worth every penny. I mean,
Yeah.
this is probably a $250 bottle, maybe even more out in the secondary market, but it's worth the price of admission. I mean, we talked about the old Fitz being worth it, even though it's a unicorn bottle, and I'm glad we got it. This is one of those whiskeys that I feel deserves to be on the list because again, it's not a unicorn bottle, and I wonder why it's not.
Well, in the sense that it's still hard to find.
Yeah.
But they consistently release
And it's
bottles of it every year. So it's in the sense that it's not a unicorn, that it is out there,
right.
but it is highly allocated. It is, all that kind of stuff. So you're not going to walk in and find 6 cases sitting on someone's floor. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So, but yeah, it's delicious. Make sure you drink responsibly.
Very good. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it, kids. Mel, you going to cheers Mr. Graham there? Yeah, just
Here, do it again. That's
oh, much better.
I
Look at
muffled
that.
it. I was holding by the tulip, not the base.
Yeah, we're drinking out of Glencairn's
To
tonight.
fix it.
We typically normally throw this whiskey over ice. We're not throwing this one over ice. She is perfect on her own, nice and neat. It's really, really fucking good. I
It
can't.
is for sure. Oh.
Good luck trying to find it, guys. But oh my god, if you see it in a bar, buy a glass. Just have it. You'll be happy you did. It's probably going to cost you $50 for a glass. It's worth it. Just have a fucking glass of it.
Yeah.
All right. How about it? Man United finally back at the top of the show. But it's only because they got embarrassed in the derby.
Oh wait. Yeah.
Manchester City 4, Manchester United 1. City strikes early. This could have been 9-1.
Yeah, it's going to be way worse. Especially the calamitous nature of De Bruyne's second goal, the third goal of the game. Just all over the fucking place. And he had the cool, calm composure to lift it over everybody that was strewn about.
Oh,
But they were dropping like fucking
Firehawk
flies.
put it up in the closed group. The picture of them just all sprawled out, laid on the ground. You're just like, what the fuck is
What
that?
are you doing?
Like-
What are you doing? I played football my whole life. I don't know that I've ever just, decided to try to get a tan in the middle of a game.
Yeah, sprawled out.
It's pitiful.
Like making a snow angel in the middle of the fucking defense.
At one point in the second half, there was a stat shown up on screen that said possession for the last 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Manchester City at 92% to Manchester United's 8%. It was a fucking training game. It was pitiful.
You're losing 4-1. You mean to tell me you're not going to try to score another goal? Like, you're not going to at least put forth that 8% that says you don't even care. Just says you go, okay, we've lost. It's over.
It was horrible. And really, David De Gea receiving a facial from Riyad Mahrez was kind of summed up the day perfectly. That final goal that he just chinned him with it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, sad part.
How bad is your day going? One of the best shot stoppers in the league couldn't get his hands in front of his face fast enough, and the ball went off of his chin and into the back of the net.
And the sad part was he was the bright spot of the Manchester United squad.
Absolutely.
He had 4 or 5 worldies where you're just like, again, this should have been 9-1.
And if a Manchester City fan, if there's actually any that exist, because we know they're a big corporate culture and everything else, and all the older people are older that were with City for a long time, but if they can figure out, one of those old guys, how to get that 30-second clip of De Gea, maybe replayed 4 or 5 times in a video so you get 2 to 4 minutes out of it, and put that on Pornhub, I think that would be a win and ultimate trolling of De Gea getting facialized.
Yeah. De Gea gets facialed. Boom, 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 over and over and over again. That'd be pretty brilliant. Pretty brilliant. Braces for both De Bruyne and Mahrez as well.
Both good goals from Riyad Mahrez, and De Bruyne's first one was excellent. It was that second one that was, there's a lot of composure involved. He still had a fair amount to do, but everybody again was just strewn about. And Jadon Sancho's goal was good, the equalizer.
Oh, it was a fantastic.
It was a great strike, but for whatever reason, United just couldn't wake up. It didn't.
How do you not get inspired by a goal that great?
Yeah.
In a derby to equalize? Like, how do you then turn around and give up the lead? Like,
it was bad. It's bad. It's bad. That's not good. It's not a good look. I wish I had something more hard hitting than it, other than it's bad. Mm-hmm. But it was just bad. There's really no other words for it. It's that simple. It was a piss poor performance.
But now what's going to happen is, unless they're playing Chelsea, maybe you guys, Tottenham next week, or Liverpool, United will keep finding ways to get points, and we'll look at it again and go, oh, wow, they haven't lost in 2 months.
Yeah.
Until they face one of those opponents and get their asses whooped again.
It's entirely true, yeah. It's entirely possible, at least. But I don't know how long Ronaldo's out for. Cavani is apparently leaving at the end of the season.
Why would he stay? Why would you stay?
Exactly.
Honestly,
I don't know
Cavani,
what the fuck happened to Marcus Rashford.
Cavani, go score 30 goals in the MLS. Because you will. You will. You'll be a god. Go play for Miami FC and score, like I said, score fucking 30 goals a season.
Think if there's anything that can stop Cavani, it's playing underneath Fizza.
Yeah, that's true. The Fizza.
I really want to see Lionel Messi rock up there, because that at least Fizza might learn something.
Right. Precisely. Here's the question. Here's the thing for you.
I was listening to another show, I'm sorry, that said the only thing Lionel Messi has failed to do is become a utility player. And who better than Phil Neville to coach that into him? Said so he has to go there so he can literally complete football.
It's not a complete world until Messi
plays left back.
No. Gets subbed in as keeper because he gets put the keeper jersey on because you've used all your subs and you have to put a field player in the net.
That would be brilliant. Sorry, you're about to say something.
That would be the metaverse of all of football. Finally, that would be full circle completion of everything.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is City needed this more than they let on.
They did, because Liverpool were starting to kind of nip at the heels a bit.
And they're still there. Obviously one slip up. Pardon me, one slip up and you're in trouble, but they needed this win because they weren't convincing in the FA Cup, and they
No,
still
and
had
it's-
decent players on the pitch.
It's a bit of a statement, this one.
And Ruben Diaz has now been reported hamstring injury and out for a month,
Right.
which means you might not have him for the Liverpool match. Like, this was a big fuck win for City.
Who's hurt now?
Ruben Diaz, the
The center back.
the center back.
Shit,
Yeah,
That sucks for my fantasy team.
yeah.
Fuck.
Diaz is out for a month.
Crap. All right.
Pick him up in your Division 2 team. Yeah, that'll help. That's a guaranteed 0.
I have thoughts on that too. I'm really pissed off at Seamus Coleman.
Got your points again, huh?
No. In a 5-0 defeat, he didn't pick up a goddamn card. What kind of captain is that? What kind of Irishman is that?
It's true. It's true.
And that's all I needed for a negative was for him to get a yellow.
If he got a yellow,
I would be in the
You
negative.
would have had a negative.
I would have had a negative score. But
Ah.
instead, played for 90 minutes, so he got his 2 participation points, conceded 5 goals minus 2 participation points.
Right.
So he finished with a 0.
Oh, that sucks.
Where's the yellow card? Have some pride in your fucking self and your country.
Okay. Well, I mean, guess he doesn't have to explain it in injury time because he just explained it here.
Dick.
How does United fix this mess?
Get a coach in.
But again,
Yeah. Now to get somebody in that knows what they're doing is one thing that has played more than, or coached rather more than twice in the last decade. I would also say a big part of it is the Ronaldo project didn't work. Somebody needs to have a bit of a spine and bench him. He is not the future of Manchester United. He's on a press tour saying goodbye.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to start every goddamn game. But Ralph Rangnick and the club aren't stern enough to tell him no.
he apparently had a hip flexor problem, which I very much doubt he had.
Exactly. So you need to just tell him you're going to be on the bench. You're old now. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford. Anthony Martial's now on loan, but Marcus Rashford, Mason has his problems. Forgot about that.
Time for Sancho to step up, which he's starting to do.
These other players are the future of Manchester United. So they need to play consistently. They need, a run of games in the team. They need to showcase what they can do and get some confidence.
Yeah.
Playing Ronaldo is a stopgap to get to the end of the season, really, until you can buy somebody after what fucking Mason Greenwood did.
I want to reiterate it at the top of the show what I said last week. They aren't on the verge of becoming bad. They're on the verge of becoming irrelevant. Don't ever listen to us. Like, never. We're wrong. The minute we think we know something, we're fucking wrong. Always wrong. Just fucking wrong.
I went to the book.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right.
I got this Villa result right. I did it. I had about $13 left or so.
Right.
Right on my machine. All the stuff I really wanted to bet. So you know what? I'm gonna throw the old 10 gamer down, Mel. Okay. And I did. And I got every fucking result right except Brentford Norwich.
Mm-hmm.
That's my fault. I didn't know Ivan Toney was back. If I did know that, I would have picked Brentford. 100%. And then the fucking Wolves game.
Mm-hmm.
But all of the kind of coin tosses, the games I was actually nervous about, Newcastle, Brighton, Villa, Southampton, got them all correct. Bang on. 8 out of 10. Too bad that doesn't pay anything, though.
Exactly. And here
would have been $7,000.
Here's a bunch of shit we've been saying about other teams, and then they go out and lose after we talk so highly about them. Aston Villa 4, Southampton 0, Crystal Palace 2, Wolverhampton 0, Leicester 2, Burnley 0, Leicester 1, Leeds 0. Just a flat-out embarrassing loss from the Saints. In fact, Mel, do you remember what the Saints have done twice?
No, I have no recollection.
Okay, well then, Sam, why don't you tell Mel what the Saints have
No,
done twice?
we're good.
I mean,
we can move on.
Under what? Can he slip you a $5? Under Ralph Hasenhüttl. I almost said Rangnick. Might as well be. Doesn't matter who it
Thor
is.
Ragnarok.
They lost twice in consecutive seasons, once each calendar year. 9-0 actually to opposition.
And if Stevie G didn't pump the brakes, they would have lost 9-0 in this
and he
one.
said
Wow.
in his post match, we could have scored more.
Yeah, and also Fraser Foster.
Yeah, they could've.
Fraser Foster
They
had
absolutely
4 or
could've.
5 brilliant saves.
Yeah, but Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings, I'm loving this 2 up top thing they got going on now.
Why couldn't Dino get that to work?
Don't know.
Like I think personally, I think the reason why that didn't work is because the person pulling the strings behind him was Buendia, and the person pulling the strings behind him now is Coutinho. I really think that that's really what it comes down to.
Well, you were asking, was it injury time? Is Buendia overrated?
Yeah.
And, might be.
I don't know that he's necessarily overrated. I just think Coutinho's that much better than he is.
Well, I mean, as in fitting in. Buendia's a sub, but putting Coutinho in with Watkins and Ings, I
Right.
think was a difference maker.
Yeah, for sure.
So overrated's a tough word, right? But what I'm getting at is when a team goes to buy someone, I'm not doubting the skill of Buendia, but maybe he wasn't the right guy to sign for your club.
Well,
maybe he's the right guy at another club.
Now,
You know?
so it's tough, right? Is he ready for the step up in profile? Is he, all of those sorts of questions are
What would he have been
are-
if he stayed with Norwich this season?
I was about to say are questions. Idiot.
But
that's the thing. Aston Villa is such a bigger club. They're a bit more stable. They going into the season had high hopes, even with Dean Smith in charge at the beginning of the year.
I would
But
say if
you had-
Buendia was still with Norwich, I'd say they'd be 9 points better than they are.
Well, but that's exactly what I mean. If you're, what do we say about somebody like Ben White, right? You know, some of these players are ready for that step up. Some aren't. You know, some players are better being I think, honestly, if you put James Maddison, for instance, into that Manchester United team, I think he'd get lost.
Right.
Right? He'd be asked to do too much shit at the moment, and I think he would be lost. He's a quality fucking player.
Yeah.
But I think he would prefer to be a bigger fish in a medium-sized pond
Right.
than a fucking squad player in a massive pond.
Right. Very true.
You
Very,
know,
very
I don't think he would thrive in that situation. He wants to be the center of attention. And
Yeah.
at Leicester, he can be.
That's fair.
So Buendia, you know, coming over from Norwich where everything went through him to now he's got players like Douglas Luiz. He's got, I know Traore's been hurt, but there's people there that's sharing the load.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he finds himself floating in and out of games on a regular basis. And now that Coutinho is there, who's that cut above, you know, he's able to take the game by the scruff of the neck and make himself the center of attention.
And remember, they can barely find time for Leon Bailey. Now, I know he's had injury problems, and Bertrand Traore, who has also had injury problems, but they can't find a place in this squad right now. Now,
No.
that's a good problem to
Oh,
have
yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
Villa, because if your aspiration is Europe, you need to have guys who play Europe, and you need to have guys who play League. That's why
100%.
It's why the big clubs do so well, and that's the reason why there's players who go, I want to go play for a big club, because they know my job will be Champions League. It might not be
Right.
the Prem, but I'll have a job. I'll get minutes. I'll play games. I'm going to play as I'm going to play as many games for them as I would for the team that I'm currently with.
Right.
It's just not going to be Premier League games.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's fair. But there was also a bunch of problems, like old problems for Southampton that crept back in. They had 11 total shots, just one on target.
Yeah.
They had 62% of the ball. It was pitiful. Villa, conversely, were fucking on fire. 14 total shots, so they outshot Southampton despite having just over a third of the ball. And then 8 of those were on target, and they scored with half of those 8 shots on target. It was ruthless. And Southampton were wasteful. And Fraser Forster, as you say, made 4 quality fucking saves. So it could have been fucking 8-0. Really could have.
Big loss for them is no Salisu. Salisu is turning himself into what Van Dijk was when he was at Southampton.
Yeah.
An irreplaceable center back.
Yep.
He's really starting to take that form. And that's all that credit, me noticing that, it goes to our boy Ryan with the American Toffee Pod. He has been all over that guy for 2 years going, watch out. Watch the fuck out. Like, that guy's going to be playing for a big club in the next couple of years. You're going to be like, who the fuck was this guy? He's a fucking baller. Them missing him was absolutely noticed.
Right.
Absolutely noticed.
Yeah.
Because Watkins and Ings and Coutinho dominated the middle of their defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely dominated the middle of their defense.
Yep.
Mel, talk about your team.
I mean, it was. As I told you, we were watching the game. Southampton looked lost. It looked lost, and it was nice to just sit back, enjoy, and know confidently we were going to win that game. It wasn't going to be stressful. It was going to be fun to watch, and all the goals were stellar, and it was frankly a very enjoyable morning.
So, Graham, why do I say we're wrong? We're always wrong because last week we were talking about, hey, look at the informed team that's now in 10th place.
Right.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yep.
Wolves are now losers of 3 straight. Again, mind you, a few weeks ago, yeah, Wolves are looking at potential Champions League. They're looking at Europe. Wrong. Wrong.
Well, there's some old problems here in this game as well. Fucking Wolves can't find a target again.
Yeah.
You know, the Wang got some penetration, but the Wang fell flat.
The Wang early in the season came out and expressed itself with authority, and since, after finishing, has just not risen again for more action.
Dare I say, in what I've noticed and experienced with the Wang, now I know what most women feel like. Wrought with anticipation and excitement, only to be let down time and time again.
That's right. We are more pleased with dick jokes than we are actually analyzing the match. Vieira got his boys singing, and don't look now, 10th fucking place.
Pretty decent goal from Ateta as well.
Which means they're going to lose the next 3 or 4 in a row
correct.
because I just said, hey, look at Palace in 10th place.
Yeah, and Palace, quarterfinals of the FA Cup as well, moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big deal.
Yep.
For them. I think you two play each other.
Don't
you?
I'll go ahead and make the prediction here, but when we do our FA Cup show, winner of that match makes it to the finals.
I think so.
I do.
Even if you draw City?
Even if we draw City.
Huh.
I think the
So
winner.
you think it's going to be you that moves on anyway?
Well, no, because if it's Palace, Palace is beating them.
Yeah.
Palace is not going to be scared. We, at that point, if we're in the semis with City may be very focused on trying to retain the league.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
And
that's a
may
fair
look
point.
past it and
Ruben Diaz being out is...
and we couldn't have played him better.
Yep.
We could not have played him better the last time we played him. So I honestly think the winner of that match is one of your 2 finalists in the FA Cup.
I hear you. Just hope it's not like Watford and get beat like 7-0 or whatever it was while we were
right,
pregnant.
the disastrous kind of thing. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
But no, it's good for them, you know. And we talk about it too. I mean, their performances overall this season have been a lot better for Crystal Palace. But a sustained cup run can kind of galvanize a team. We talk about it all the time, right? It's how Millwall stayed in the championship last season when they had that great run till you knocked them out, or 2 years ago maybe it was when you knocked them out of the FA Cup. But that sustained run,
they knocked us out.
Oh, that's right. They lost in the next round.
Yeah.
That's correct. But that sustained cup run can really galvanize a team. So both, you know, like I said, Palace's overall performances have been a lot better, but they've lacked here and there in certain situations and went through a rough patch of 4 or 5 without a win. But now I think you're seeing them really starting to turn a corner again, and they're healthy in the right places and at the right time.
Got to beat Burnley at home, not draw Burnley at home like you did last week.
Yep.
And I think that's what a young team has to learn. And this is, for the most part, what was a very old team last season, a very young team this season. And
I think they're the only team younger than them is Arsenal on a consistent basis.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
And this is Vieira's doing the work, and it's working. It's working magnificently, which, again, because we're always wrong, in 3 weeks, sorry, Brad, you're going to have a slide, and we're going to talk about how we don't know what we're fucking talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we were talking about Leicester, and our point of view with Leicester was, you know what? They're done and dusted. I see them outside the top 10. They're not going to be in the European hunt. Like, is it maybe finally catching up to them,
I
right?
thought you were getting a bit emotional.
No.
Like since they also wear blue or something.
I was hiding a burp. So,
in the hunt.
but
I saw a little tear.
and the defense hasn't looked good, and they've just been kind of off. Wrong.
Yeah.
2 scrappy, gutsy, shutout fucking victories out of Leicester this week. Like, great fucking week for
Now,
Leicester.
Casper Schmeichel had a lot to do with that.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I
He
mean,
was on.
He made a fair few saves in both of those games. To be
Sometimes you need the veteran player to come through in a big way.
well, and they're also getting healthy
galvanize you.
again. You have Jamie Vardy back fit, which stretches defenses, which
Got a
gives
goal.
people something to worry about. Got a goal, obviously, against Burnley. And James Madison got back after he had been out for a couple of games. He got a goal, the opener against Burnley, actually with a fantastic finish.
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy being a shithouse again, which you need. That's important. Ran past his own fans, waved, and then went to the Burnley fans on the other side of the corner flag and did a little quivering lip celebration. I think maybe because they're in the relegation zone and about to go down.
I maybe it's just somebody made. I'm sure like one person while he was over in that corner went, "Hey, old man, you ever gonna play again?" And he just decided in the back of his head, well, when I score, I'm going to fuck with these guys.
Yeah.
Because that's what Vardy does.
He tied, I think, or maybe just surpassed Ian Wright for the most Premier League goals scored after the age of 30 with 94.
Oh, I was going to say, did he pass Ian Wright for the King of Shithousery award? Like,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
I'm so disappointed he didn't score against Leeds because I guarantee you somewhere in that stadium he had a bucket stashed.
oh, and he would have sat on a
Would've-
bucket and
would've
drank,
pulled
tea,
it out.
and drank hot tea out of a Manchester United cup.
I wanted that to happen so fucking bad, but obviously it didn't.
Again, just crown him.
Wasn't to be.
Make him it forever because, we would talk about a guy like Roy Jones, but Roy Jones was a bruiser, right? Like he would just choke a motherfucker, or same thing with like
You talking
Dunk.
about Vinny?
Vinny Jones. I'm sorry,
the
yeah, Vinny
actor?
Jones. Yes.
Slash footballer?
Yeah, choke a motherfucker, or that's what Dunk would do. No, Vardy could get into a scrap, but his level of shithousery, it's cerebral. The way
yeah.
he fucking goes
100%.
at people, it's so brutal.
But the other thing is the way he goes after it, he can back it up. That's the thing, is if you decided you wanted to fight him, he would kick the fucking shit out of you.
Mel, Jamie Vardy could go on RuPaul's Drag Race. When they open the library, he could put on the glasses and read that entire room. It's just what Vardy does. Vardy is king of shithousery. It's just there is no other. It's Vardy, and then there's a very, very long drop to the next person, and we don't even know who that person is.
No, I know who it is because we're about to talk about them here shortly. But in the Chelsea-Burnley game and Reece James's for opener, he was a bit of a shithouse as well.
Very good.
Celebrated directly in front of the Burnley fans as well, getting after it. But I think he's slowly building himself a reputation to take over from Jamie Vardy when Jamie Vardy retires.
So interesting. Now we'll get to the Everton part of all of this a little bit later, but you couldn't have had a worse week if you were Burnley.
No, correct. Absolutely.
Because you have that, and then you turn around and you have a 4-0 loss. So you have a -5 goal differential. Now, fortunately, Everton went out and put up a -5 as well and put themselves in all kind of trouble too.
Yep.
But just a bad week for Burnley, especially we'll get into the second match with Chelsea, but with this one, you lose 2-0. Like you didn't even really seem to be in the match. There wasn't much, and you've made the right changes and you've kind of made yourself a little more offensive. I keep feeling like it's going to be just that much not enough.
Yeah.
Just an inch not enough. And that's where they're going to find themselves sitting in 18th and going down.
Could very well be. 100%.
New look Leeds with a little bit more, emphasis on defense, or at least getting back or tracking back.
Touch more pragmatism.
Yeah.
I think they were obviously too gung-ho. With their first season back in the top flight last year, it was their best defense was offense. And that's fair. There's a couple of teams like that. But the problem is without the likes of Rafinha for large stretches, without Patrick Bamford for, played 2 games in the last 3 months?
They just
4
got
months?
Junior Firpo back, who was an outside back who they definitely had in the plans for the entire season.
100%. And he ran with such a small squad, Bielsa, that, or not necessarily a small squad, but refused to really make changes to his team. And there was no plan B. So Jesse Marsh has come in, and apparently him and Leeds have been talking for a while. and they actually, I thought, had a pretty good performance.
Oh, it was a very good performance.
They were,
I mean,
they were a bit more organized. They were a bit more together. They all seemed to be fighting for the same cause, and it wasn't just go run the score up. It was,
they were deserving of a point. That should have been a 0-0 game. It was one mistake led to the goal, and you're just like, fuck, we did everything right. Like, and that's how it goes in a relegation.
Goal from Harvey Barnes.
That's how it goes in a relegation battle.
Yeah, it was
just how it goes.
It was a great goal for Harvey Barnes.
Yeah,
good finish for him.
You think you did everything right, and it just wasn't enough. Do you think that this change in play and style, do you think it will be enough ultimately for Leeds?
I think it has the potential to be, yes, because Patrick Bamford looks to be back fit, so they'll have an out-and-out striker because this Daniel James kind of forced move isn't going well. He needs to be back out on the wing, and Bamford needs to be back through the middle as a point man, so Rafinha and everybody else can run off of him. It's not working currently the way it is, so I think Bamford's close to like full fitness and will actually be starting games again here soon. I think he come off the bench in this one to play 15 minutes. So we'll see what happens. But Jesse Marsh, we'll be happy to know after, of course, Daniel Farka left. We haven't heard very much about Zatopics. But in his post-match, he said, this week has been difficult trying to get everybody up to speed and change the system a bit and, show our respect for what Bielsa does and what we do well. But we wanted to be a bit more pragmatic and, there's some tactical topics that we have to take care of. I just wish his voice was higher pitched.
Heard. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Chelsea 4, Burnley 0, Newcastle 2, Brighton 1, Brentford 3, Norwich 1, Liverpool 1, West Ham 0, Arsenal 3, Tottenham 2, Everton 0, Tottenham Hotspur 5.
Arsenal 3, Watford 2.
Watford 2. Sorry, my apologies.
Oh, good. I'll take that, though.
Oh, I'm sure you would. No. Harry Kane was too busy passing your boy on the all-time scorer list today.
Who? Passing who?
Thierry Henry. He just passed him today.
Yeah, well, good thing there's a separate one for non-Englishmen.
Yeah, heard.
How many goals is that for him?
138, I believe.
138. Oh, yeah.
Terry's 137.
137 in the Premier League. He scored 220 some odd for Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, in the Premier League, yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. So Arsenal basically have two players up there since he was in our youth system. You're
Heard.
welcome.
Very good.
And Thierry Henry still has the trophy count.
Great first half for Burnley. Great first half. Like, they did exactly what they wanted to do. They shut down Chelsea. They frustrated them. That was all good. And
it wasn't pretty, though.
And then Chelsea woke the fuck up.
Yeah. It was about 10 minutes. They scored 3 goals, I think.
Jesus.
It was very quick.
Something Chelsea desperately needed.
But Chelsea were so comfortable. Oh, yeah. They were so comfortable in that second half, though. And this was all without Lukaku as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was piss poor from Burnley. They completely fell apart to the point where Nick Pope was rooted to the spot a couple times. It's like, Nick Pope doesn't do that.
Right.
He doesn't get wrong-footed like that where he just stands there ever.
Right.
And I think 2 of the 4 Chelsea goals he was. Obviously, Tarkovsky, unfortunate with that last one with Pulisic.
Yeah.
Where he just stuck a boot out. I think the ball somehow caught him by surprise. Not sure why. But just stuck a boot out and it fell right to Pulisic's foot. Just unfortunate. But we don't normally see a collapse like that from Burnley. When they go in 0-0 at halftime against larger opposition, it's usually a 1-0 loss or a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
And they completely fucking shit the bed.
Yeah. That's
worrisome, that.
I mean, let's face it, massive 6-pointer is going to be when Burnley and Everton finally play their replay.
Absolutely.
That's going to tell us a lot. And that's why, when we get to Everton, I know the sky is falling and everything's going to go to shit, but I'm not really concerned about Everton really legitimately being someone who goes down till they get through Wolves and Newcastle in the next 2 weeks, and when they finally play Burnley. That's going to tell me a lot.
Yep.
It
sure will. But you need points from those games.
Oh, of course.
You need points from those games.
And, for Burnley, that's just tough because you did everything you were supposed to do for a half.
Right, for 45 minutes.
Doesn't help that you don't do it for the full 90. So go ahead and talk about Reece James's little shithousery.
I mean, after he scored, he kind of, again, ran, past the Chelsea fans and went and celebrated in front of the Burnley fans and just like making gestures to the crowd. I think he did the, finger to the lips thing, like be quiet and just being a dick. Really.
Well, I not talking about all Burnley fans, but we have had some Burnley problems before with black people, and it wouldn't surprise me if old Reece James is like, maybe someone said something to me in the stands that I heard, and maybe I want to go back and just make sure they know I'm number one. Maybe that, it's. Again, remember, Ben Mee came out and said, this is bullshit. Don't do that. Like, that doesn't represent our club, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't mean those fans aren't in the stadium. It doesn't mean they might not have yelled something that he may have heard, because Turf Moor's an old classic park and it's right on top of you.
Yep.
And maybe he just decided, let me find that bloke.
Yeah, let me go find that guy.
Let me just let him know what I do when I score goals.
Another issue with Chelsea fans. And really, another pundit was saying this today at a radio show that I listened to on XM, that Chelsea fans online are pretty mild-mannered, level-headed, no big deal. Chelsea fans that show up often let their club down.
Heard.
Where opposite, say, take us, for instance, or even Everton. I've never really heard of any Everton problems. Just you got shanked that one time by the Millwall guy.
Right.
But that was it, and obviously it wasn't his fault. But Arsenal fans online are fucking insane, and in person are pretty mild-mannered and easy.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we were walking away from the Emirates, a 61-year-old man and a 19-year-old man were embroiled in a verbal altercation that eventually literally came to nothing.
Right.
So it was fine. During the minute's applause for Ukraine, in support of Ukraine, the Chelsea supporters decided to chant Roman Abramovich's name over it.
Not good. Not good at all.
Oftentimes, games in Europe, they're a bit racist. Standing on train platforms. And so, for whatever reason, the fans that show up to Chelsea are dickheads, and the ones online are fine, which is normally an opposite problem. But, yeah, and Burnley, being where it is located, is kind of like, that southern Indiana kind of.
Yeah, kind of think middle America, flyover
Yeah.
states. Burnley is a perfect example of a flyover state.
Yeah. And they sometimes don't always hold, let's call them open-minded views.
Yeah.
To be
exactly
kind about it.
So moving on to Newcastle and Brighton. Quick lead for Newcastle. I mean, doing exactly what they need to do. Quick lead and then try to hold on.
The stat that I heard about that, 6 years it has been since they scored more than one goal in the first quarter of a game.
Wow. Wow.
Obviously, they scored in it was 14 minutes and 16 minutes or 12 and 14. It was something like that.
The Eddie Howe effect.
In the first quarter of a game, so take the 90 minutes and split it into fours. So you're looking at 22 and a half minutes per quarter, essentially. And if you do that, the last 6 years, they haven't scored more than one goal in a single quarter of a game.
So
brilliant. It's such a good stat.
Brighton tried to fight their way back into the match, which they did a decent effort of. Ultimately could not get the point, which they might have deserved. But I would like to, all of us now, recognize the annual descent to Brighton.
Yeah.
Where Brighton
much.
goes, we've done enough. Let's fuck off.
Let's chill. Yep.
Phew, right down the table.
Well, it didn't help selling Dan Burn. Obviously, the Dan Burn derby. He had a pretty good game.
Yep. The most scored.
Yep. Jacob Murphy actually had a pretty good game, to be completely honest. He hit the post in one, which set up Ryan Fraser's goal.
Mm-hmm.
He collected the rebound and tucked that away. But all in all, I mean, Newcastle have put in some great performances. I think they're winners in 5 of 6.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're looking up. And as we said, after they finally got that first win under Eddie Howe, said we're pretty sure they're fucking safe. After this, they're definitely fucking safe.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I have I don't know that it's a hot take after what Southampton did, but in a few minutes when we start doing the bets, I have Newcastle in my bet beating Southampton.
Oh, very good.
At St. Mary's.
Okay, very good. Well, as we talk about Brentford and Norwich, in American football, they say you never want to hear a tackle's name mentioned on TV. It's a bad thing, right? If you hear his name mentioned a lot, it means he's getting beat. It means he's fouling a lot. He's not doing very well. Same would apply for center backs when you're talking about English football. Ben Gibson had himself a day, didn't he, Sam?
It's a bit all over the place, wasn't it? Gave away both penalties.
It's not a favorable. You know what? That's who you should have picked up on your fantasy team. He'd have done you proper.
God damn it. Maybe next weekend. Sometimes you just have a bad day at the office. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
I'm annoyed that I didn't know Ivan Toney was coming back for this game.
Yeah.
And he did announce himself back in the squad with a fucking brilliant hat trick. I thought he showed great composure, and I thought he showed great maturity in not being drug into the shithousing that Tim Krul was doing, especially on the first one, where he just turned around, faced his own goal, and just let Tim Krul do his fucking thing, and looked over at the referee and said, "Can you have a word with him? Because I'd like to get the game going again."
Right.
And just didn't fall victim to his bullshit.
And Krul is known as a rather decent penalty shot stopper.
Absolutely.
And then even better, he beats him again in the same corner on the second penalty, and Krul even guessed right. That is just no, you can't stop my penalties. The way I take a penalty is fucking perfect. I mean, I dare say he might be the best penalty taker I know of right now.
It's possible. Jorginho, I mean...
But Jorginho does that step thing, and if you...
Well, it's annoying.
But if you can play his paws like Pickford did in the Euros, he can be stopped. I don't know if Tony... He's going to put it legitimately a bee's dick measure off of the post every single time. It doesn't matter which side it is.
It's always that left side of the goal, though.
It's going to be perfectly just a millimeter off the post low. And as a keeper, if you got to it, it's because you came off the line early.
Right.
Because you physically, with the time that it takes to do a penalty, you cannot get to that post in time with where he puts it.
And he does it with just the one step as well.
Yep.
So you don't have time to I mean, you know where he's going, but you can't get to it.
Like a hockey stick. Just looks like a simple little pass into the net. Just takes his leg, whoop, right across.
Yep. It is pretty good.
And if you want to have shithousery without having to do shithousery, there's your ultimate W on Krul.
Right.
Like now, I personally, if I was Tony, I would have just gone up and gone, I see you missed it again.
Right, yeah.
I'd have said something just
one
because.
Of these, the little talking sign.
Yeah, because he likes to talk a lot. Just to remind him, okay, asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. Ben Gibson also did something else very funny.
Yes.
He was dragged down by Christian Eriksen by his jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Was pissed off about it.
Pulled back his hand to fucking
Looked
punch
like
him.
he was going to deck him.
Yeah.
And Christian Eriksen's laying on the ground on his back, and Ben Gibson's on top of him. And he comes around, has his hand up like so, then realizes it's Christian Eriksen and just gives him a hug.
It's like, oh, shit, you almost died last summer. I love you. Hi. You're a nice guy.
Now, I heard another bit on another show that I won't mention, but I will tell you about the bit. And they said, do you reckon that Christian Eriksen can just like get away with anything now?
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
Like he could catch the ball on the line and then look at the referee and be like, listen, I almost died. And be like, yeah, you're right. Not a penalty.
I still don't know how Ben Gibson didn't see a red. He was just
he should have.
The amount of penalty, like fouls that he had committed, the running all over the place, the going. I was amazed he did not get sent off. Liverpool, now winners of 7 in a row. They are on cruise control. But I will say, West Ham didn't make it easy.
No,
West Ham had fucking chances.
Yeah.
This was a good, we're putting it in Oso, but this was a great fucking match.
Yeah, and it was
great match.
It took a phenomenal pass from Trent Alexander-Arnold to actually break the deadlock.
Yeah.
Good finish from Sadio Mane. You would expect him to score from there. But Fabianski was out well, went down well. Mane just lifted it. It was perfect.
Right.
What a fucking pass. Disguised as a shot. It was very, very good. But you're right. Liverpool did allow West Ham into the game. They allowed West Ham to have chances, and it just was unfortunate that
Hey, the second half,
They
West Ham
couldn't
had
finish.
more of the chances.
yeah, they just couldn't
West Ham
finish.
absolutely had more of the chances.
Mhm.
For West Ham, you came out of this with some pride. You look good. You know, there's not much more you can do. Worry about the games you can win, right?
Yes.
That's how you got to look at it. You just gotta move on. You're still very much in the hunt for Europe, and you have a shout at Champions League, but probably out of it.
Well, apparently, the Russian clubs have been suspended from competition, and the Ukrainian clubs that are still in said competitions are asking that their games be postponed for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what has come of that yet. I still haven't seen really an update on that. But there's the potential. As I said, I don't think they would give a free pass to a team. Hey, all right, so now you're going to the semi or quarterfinals now because your opposition decided their president or dictator, whatever.
Well, West Ham went out to a Russian club.
Tsar decided to be a dick fuck.
West Ham went out to a Russian club.
Well, right, but that Russian club has now been suspended from UEFA competition.
Right.
So does West Ham get whoever they were supposed to play, the Russian team, whoever they were supposed to play in the next round? I wonder if they just replace them with West Ham.
Yeah.
So there may still be a possibility. Like I said, I haven't seen an update on it, but I doubt that they would just hand a free pass.
Right. They'd bring the team.
They would bring somebody back in, I feel like.
And why wouldn't you bring in the team that
they beat?
Played?
Yeah. So I don't know. I doubt they would just say, here's a free pass into the quarterfinals. I don't really think that's fair, and it also kind of hurts the integrity of the competition.
Your boys made it look a lot harder than they needed to.
That was that last 15 minutes or whatever it was.
Jesus.
They decided that they were going to play. You know what? That was the footy equivalent of prevent defense.
Right.
Which I hate.
Bad. Like
Cucho, though, what a goal that was. Overhead kick.
Mm-hmm.
That was brilliant.
Gorgeous.
It's fantastic. Most of the goals in this game were fantastic. And then you take out Sissoko's ugly piece of shit. But all the goals in this game were fantastic.
Your Spurs hate showing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's fine. Okay, I wear it proudly right here.
Yeah, heard.
The Arsenal had that early scare. Obviously, it was called offsides. Arsenal had that early scare. After that, I thought they were pretty dominant. They kind of limited a majority of Watford's chances. Now, Ramsdale was required on a few occasions. There were a couple of blocks that needed to be made. But ultimately, I thought Arsenal were pretty comfortable. Watford decided, as most shit teams do, Watford decided that they were not going to be shit that day. And they were a bit more organized. And it always happens against Arsenal for whatever reason. But we overcame it. The cream rose to the top. It was some really good football for our goals.
Right.
Odegaard's, Saka's especially. But what a deft touch from Alexandre Lacazette for Martinelli's goal. It's fucking brilliant. And the work he's doing in the team, it needs to be admired. And Arsenal internet psychos basically don't give him enough credit. They want him gone because he doesn't have a good goal return.
What they want is they wanted Aubameyang to be up there and scoring 30 goals.
Yeah, but
it's not.
You cannot shame this man for how hard he works and what he brings to the team. He may not have the stats to show it, but he's directly responsible for at least, I'd say probably 6 out of our last 8 goals.
Yeah.
With his runs that take defenders and shifts the entirety of the defense and opens up space for someone else. And then obviously that own goal as well, it was his cross that Jose Sa put in against Wolves.
I mean, outside of, Giroud would always do the work, right? But outside of Giroud, it wasn't, Van Persie was the last time you had someone who would do thankless work as a striker. Like, for the most part, like the quintessential point man, right? You look back at your team and a lot of guys who could give a fuck. A lot of guys who could really give a fuck.
Exactly.
And now you have a guy who's bleeding for the shirt and playing his ass off, and because he's not scoring 20 goals, everybody wants to bitch and moan about him.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's like, fucking stop it,
Idiots.
man.
But it's just people that don't know the fuck they're talking about. That's basically what it is. It's people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's people that have never played the fucking game. They've only ever supported a team, and that's it.
Right. It's Martinelli, Smith Rowe, and Saka are scoring goals because of what
Lacazette's
doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Get out of your mom's basement, go for a jog, find a football pitch, and play for a second. You'll understand what he does.
Yeah.
Idiots.
All Spurs. As great as Everton looked for game plan against City is how bad they looked in game plan today against Spurs.
Well, I think Spurs were just on. I mean, wasn't your possession stats relatively similar?
Yeah.
But they counterattacked you very, very well.
And every time they counterattacked us, they put it in the back of the fucking net.
Now, so your center backs were at 6s and 7s for a majority of that game. I mean, Jordan Pickford, when he came on, is it Braithwaite?
Brentwaite, yeah.
Brentwaite.
At halftime.
When he came on at halftime. And
for Keane, who gave up an own goal and was responsible for both the other 2 goals that went in.
Right. I mean, they're all, every time a ball got cleared for a corner, they're screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And across that entire back line, it's like, y'all were not on the same page. Y'all were not on the same page at all.
No, not one bit.
It was weird.
I still am not jumping off a cliff. For me, like I said, this next couple of weeks are going to be very telling because Wolves at home is a game you should get, especially because Wolves are not playing well currently. And Newcastle at home is still a game you should get.
Supposed to be, especially if you're in the position that you're in. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
And I think, like I said, I think it gets kind of overlooked. The games in hand that Everton still have to play are 2 teams that are directly involved in this relegation battle. And then the other one is against a team in Leicester who's, by the time we finally fucking play them, probably not caring about the league anymore.
Right.
They're probably already on Dubai time by that point. So, But in fairness, for as shitty of a performance that was, I did pour myself a little bit heavier of a Malort shot because,
I mean, for 5 goals, you deserve it.
Yeah, I deserve it. That's for damn sure. So let's go ahead and throw this back. If there's going to be a silver lining, at least a Spud passed a Gunner for all-time goals in the Prem while the game happened. So while Graham is happy I lost, he's sad because he lost too.
I'll tell you what the silver lining really is, real quick. At least Andres Gomez still has both ankles intact.
Oh, my God.
I only said it to take the piss because of what you said off air.
Can we please, commentators, it's been 4 seasons now. Can we please, every time that Everton and Spurs play each other, can we have one match?
Has it been 3 years since that happened?
4.
Really? That happened in our first season?
No, second season. So 3 years.
So 3 years.
And then FA Cup matches. So easily 7 or 8 matches that these teams have played against each other. And every single time the commentators bring up Son, red card, injuring Gomez, got red card rescinded. They always make it a point to be like, but he didn't really get a red card because it got rescinded. Even though, Gomez couldn't walk and it had a fractured break in his ankle, which is something that just doubly fucking bad. But no, we need to bring it up every time because why? The children, Graham. The fucking children.
Sure money.
Sorry, guys. Had to get some whiskey there.
The little things people will never know.
This is Sure Money. This is where we come up with bets to better inform you on making your bets. After this past week, I am down $1,107.
You missed on yours. I thought you hit yours.
I did not.
Which one did you miss?
I'm pretty sure I missed mine.
The 5-way parlay. I think you hit it.
Oh no, that was at the
You
book.
did a 5-way parlay on this show. I'm pretty sure you hit it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I missed it because I thought I had Wolves in that one too.
Oh, you did have Wolves. Yep, you did miss it.
I'll double check that, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I had Wolves in that one also because I was really annoyed with that game.
All right, very good.
I'll double check it again, but I think I'm down 1,107.
Okay.
All right, so what did you do?
Oh, I won.
Oh, good for you.
I won. The bird
I
won.
better. I'm gonna listen back and I'm gonna post a live video later that says that I actually did hit it.
Okay, I'm honestly, Sam, I honestly think you did hit it. So
Okay, I'll double
Which is-
check. I probably thought, almost positive I had Wolves in there, but that's all right. I'll double check it.
I'm gonna stop checking your bets of the week. You do your own fucking work. I mean, again, Shore Money, your segment, great admin, awesome.
Yeah, we knew that I was bad at admin.
Thank God we have a fucking chicken to save this segment. Another winner. I'm just chipping away at my losses, and I'm now down $729.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
We're getting close to the shirt, Sam. 24.137931% of the time. It works 100% of the time.
Let me tell you something. If the math actually checks out to that number again, you're never allowed to bet
That's
ever again. It's done.
Done. Okay,
The whole
we're done.
segment's over because we just hit it.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and take a 3-game parlay. I'm going to pull a U and do a multiple game parlay. But if it hits, I can get back into the black. I'm going to take Burnley to beat Brentford.
Ironic.
I know. Southampton to beat Watford. Southampton to beat Watford. And Arsenal to beat Leicester at plus $777. And Frank Black once said, if man is 5 and the devil is 6, then God is 7. This monkey's gone to heaven. Go ahead, Mr. Graham.
That's pretty good. That's actually not bad, but we have our own degenerate gambling friend who would like to place a bet himself.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
How you feeling? You
Long time-
feeling better?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I heard last week's show. They did not give me Vicodin. They gave me ibuprofen 800. So they don't just be giving the narcs.
That
I know.
Boo.
They don't- I guess, there's a whole opioid epidemic or something. They don't want to,
Yeah,
Anyways,
but
they
if
must
you
have heard
don't have a history of that, get the good stuff.
I have an addiction or an addiction history.
Yeah, that's
just not
fair.
with pain pills.
I mean, you do call him the degenerate gambling friend.
Yeah.
That's true. I know a lot of gamblers that just drink coffee while they're gambling, though.
It's-
They don't like to be fucked up.
It's a shame, though, because our boy here was on a hell of a run, and now we have him on a show after a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Two
on
in
a
a
run.
Well, no, it's good. Bring it back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah, well, this week I'm not going to go, because I risked a little to win a lot last week, obviously with 2 draws, which weren't even anywhere close. So this week I'm just doing something pretty simple. I'm just going to take, I was looking at a lot of numbers, and this one kind of popped up at me as even money for Manchester United to beat Tottenham. So I'm going to take 200 just to win 200, which will bring me up to 800 plus 800, unlike you guys.
Right, yeah, we're both definitely down. Definitely down.
So.
Well, unless mine actually hit, which I'll tell you later.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I fucking missed it though.
Yeah, well, we'll
I
take a
don't-
listen.
Really, you want to know what happened? I got drunk yesterday and did do a fucking thing. Okay, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I didn't listen back to what my bet was, and I always throw my papers out here, and it is what it is.
Graham
I chose
Get a little
alcohol
bit-
over admin yesterday. That's what happened.
Graham woke up in the morning, decided to have himself a day beer, and those day
I had an
beers
Irish coffee to start.
became night beers. He cooked on the grill, and while I was cooking on the grill, he had probably 10 more day beers.
So all in all, I think I had a total of 8 beers, a bottle of wine, and 2 Irish coffees.
There you go.
All told.
Okay.
But that was
That's
from
a nice little Sunday
9
right there.
a.m. when Arsenal played until I went to bed at about 2 after poker.
Lovely. Very good. How did golf go for you, buddy?
It kind of sucked. I mean, the weather was okay. Can't complain about that. But I don't know. I just didn't get any practice in. So I just got so hammered the whole trip. I mean, my best round I don't even remember. So yeah. So that's
Sounds
why I
about
call
right.
that.
Sounds like
Yeah.
the two of us playing golf all the time.
Yeah, sounds like a good golf trip, that.
Well, yeah.
But
It's amazing
you know,
the strokes
but,
that get shaved when you're like hammered, blackout drunk. You're like, oh yeah, I got there in 4. Of course I did.
listen, it's not cheating. What's the old Costanza line? It's not lying if you believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you just blacked out, you don't remember it, you're fine. But all right, man, cool. Glad you're back on your feet. We missed you, so we'll holler at you next week.
Yeah, sounds good. I will talk to you.
All right,
Take
brother.
it easy.
Yeah, man.
All right, bye.
Damn, Mo with the quickness, shut that down.
No, he was with the quickness. He hung up.
Did he? All right.
Yeah. Guess Pat wasn't hanging out to listen tonight.
All right, so I have something to bring it back or continue my run, depending on what happened. I have Newcastle over Southampton in the midweek. I have Chelsea over Norwich in the midweek, obvi. And then I have Tottenham to beat Manchester United on Saturday, plus $14.89 on a $100 bet, and I really couldn't turn that down. This may be one on Thursday that I swing by the old bookie on the way home
and
do. If FanDuel's putting out these odds, yeah,
little 20. Very good.
Yeah. Cause I think this is actually going to happen. I told you this with Tottenham about your game, why I had you losing this game. Not necessarily because Tottenham's better than you, but I had Tottenham losing this game, or winning your game because they seem to be playing the name on the shirt rather than the team. The losses they have recently,
very fair,
are like Burnley, for instance. But they then beat City 3 days prior. So I think they're looking past their opponents that they know they have a leg up on, but they're playing the name on the shirt. And Everton, despite their position, are a big club. And I've always said that. I've always stood by that, and I still stand by that. Everton are a huge club. They're a big name. So are Villa, and I think Tottenham are playing the name on the shirt rather than, and then for, again, looking past those lesser opponents.
Right. Very fair. So this was a shit segment.
I thought the segment was great.
Thank God we have a chicken. You don't even know what your fucking bet was.
Well, Kitty hit with Liverpool's victory and sits at 14-10. So early this morning.
Better than all of us.
Yeah, well, she's a smart chicken, and she's a popular chicken because this morning I was hanging out with Rita and Penelope, and we all got pings on our cell phones. Yes, Kitty apparently left them 2 cell phones so they could all keep in touch.
That's how fucking Kitty rolls.
And it was a picture of her and Antonio Conte skiing in the Bormio region of Italy.
No shit.
Now, Antonio enjoys alpine skiing, and seeing he's the boss at Spurs, Kitty is keen on Tottenham beating Man United this weekend.
Well, and apparently Kitty likes to alpine ski.
Also
get some decent speed. Does she do 1 ski or 2 skis? And how does she hold and hit the gates and
she
the whole
uses
thing?
Her wings, duh.
Oh, okay. I just
That's
want to make
dumb
sure.
question.
Just put one wing out to turn like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I will say that Tottenham now may not beat Manchester United. And the reason I'll say it is because shouldn't Antonio Conte have been taking training instead of skiing with a fucking chicken?
He makes time for Kitty. Come on. Everybody makes time for Kitty.
If you don't think for a second that Kitty is not one of his trainer associates, then you really don't know this chicken. Do you know what else this chicken wants us all to know?
What's that?
She wants us to all gamble legally and responsibly.
Championship Corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh, no.
Have I mentioned this bourbon is really fucking good?
It's fantastic. And by the way, we cannot overlook how brilliant Whiskey Dick's fucking high pitch, like, corner!
Yeah,
like
it's
the
dope.
carry. It's
dope.
It's very Iron Maiden of him. It's very Run for the Hills, kind of like really brings it.
I mean, I'd say it is more Iron Maiden. It's not as high or as long as Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Which
it's
is one
Iron
of the,
Maiden. It's Run for the Hills.
Yeah.
It's Run for the Hills.
You're absolutely right about that.
And he would appreciate that. So,
I actually know what you're talking about, too.
Championship.
So, Huddersfield beat the Posh 3-0 on Friday. Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest drew 1-1, kind of furthering the jumble that is the playoff race.
Right.
Because both of them are in and around it. Fulham beat Blackburn 2-0. They just keep rolling. Mitro,
that hurts Blackburn.
It does, yeah. But Mitro, no scorey in this one for once. He's already got the record for most goals in a championship season.
Don't worry.
And there are still a bunch of games left.
When they get promoted, he'll stop scoring again.
Of course, absolutely. So that Birmingham City 2-1 over Bristol, which has playoff implications. Now Derby beat Barnsley 2-0.
Oh, there you go.
At the same time, the Posh lost. Let's see what Reading did.
It's Reading who they're chasing.
Uh-oh.
Reading lost?
Reading lost to Millwall 1-0.
What are they, 1 point now? 1 point back
I will tell you,
Reading?
as soon as I pull up the table, I will tell you. Because
it's
West
so
Brom,
close.
West Brom beat Hull 2-0, so you're back to winning ways. First winner to Steve Bruce.
Hull's in that little discussion too. They're a little bit ahead of Reading, but they're in that discussion.
I have a little thing that happened.
Okay.
Did you happen to hear Steve Bruce's comments following their game?
No, I did not.
He was talking about Jake Livermore and how happy he was to have him back, and after his recent suspension, basically. He broke up to play well. He reads the game. He's vital to what we want to do. He's awesome, right, Jake Livermore? That's wonderful because, you know, he got sent off like a prick last time out, and I hope he sees this because he'll take it the right way. He just called him a prick in an interview. It's like,
oh, my God.
What are you doing? He's hangry. Go have a sausage roll. Fuck's sake. Middlesbrough, 2-1 over Luton. Preston, 2-1 over Bournemouth, which is big for Bournemouth there. QPR lost 2-1 to Cardiff. I already said Millwall over Reading 1-0. Blackpool beat Stoke, which is huge for the playoffs as well, 1-0. And Swansea 3-1 over Coventry, which, again, has playoff implications. So let's go to the table. Fulham are obviously still on top, 9 points
Playoffs
clear.
in the bottom of the table.
Yeah, but Fulham have 2 games in hand. And
really?
I'm sorry, not 9, 11 points clear of Huddersfield, who has climbed to second place.
Good on you, Huddersfield.
Yeah, it's wild. Bournemouth are dropped to third. Now, they do have 4 games in hand on Huddersfield, and they're only a point behind with a plus 23 goal differential to Huddersfield's 13. So that's going to be trouble. Blackburn are down into 4th on 57 points. QPR, 56 points in 5th. Middlesbrough, 55 points in 6th. Sheffield United in 7th on 54.
Look at Sheffield with the big climb.
Tied with Luton. Just 2 goals separate them on the same number of games played as well. Luton in 8th place on 54. Nottingham Forest in 9th on 52. Millwall in 10th on 52. Coventry in 11th on 51.
They've
and
dropped.
Preston North End in 12th on 50. So if you go up 5 points, and there's a couple teams that there's some games in hand here or there, whatever. But Middlesbrough right now round out the playoff places. They have a 5-point lead on 12th place Preston, 13th place West Brom is at 49, Blackpool's at 48. So there's still what are they, 48 games? The highest team played is Huddersfield. Most of these teams in this conversation are on 34 points. There's still 14 fucking games left.
14? I thought there was 297 games left.
Yeah, it's starting to get to the business end.
Okay.
Time to stop making jokes.
Heard.
But they've got 14 fucking games left, right? So that's what, 42 points up for grabs. And all the way down.
Bottom of the table. Got to hear about this.
To 14th has a chance, right? They're only 7 points behind Middlesbrough in 6th. There are a ton of teams in this playoff race. Wow. It is fucking awesome.
Very
now, what you've all been waiting for. The problem is going to be is Reading do have a game in hand, but Reading are shite, right? Peterborough basically relegated already. They're on 21 points.
Barnsley basically relegated, right?
Barnsley basically relegated already. Yeah, essentially. They're both shit. Goal differential minus 26 for Barnsley. The Posh minus 45. They're just bad. Now, Reading do have a game in hand, as I said. They're on 29 points in 21st place. Derby are in 22nd, the last relegation spot, on 24, so they're 5 points back.
Okay.
But Reading have a game in hand. Oof. Now, Reading are crap. Minus 26 goal differential. Derby, minus 3. Almost a 500 record.
Wow.
They're 11 wins, 12 draws, 13 losses.
It's all point deduction. It's the only reason why they're where they are.
So 21 points was their fine, right? So 45 puts them in 15th place.
Wow.
They would be well and truly out of the problem had they not had their owner be a cunt bag.
Heard. Well,
I still think they can get out of it.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm rooting for them to do it, especially, for for good old Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney, yeah. For Wazza.
For Wazza. We're rooting for him, too.
Yeah.
It's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Sammy, any parting words?
I already spoke about the cuntiness of the Chelsea supporters earlier, so not really.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just the old plug-in stuff.
D-back.
Yeah, just D-back.
Be a good
Not hard.
person. Not hard.
Yeah.
Not hard at all.
Same for Burnley as well.
Oh, indirectly, but yeah. we were making assumptions.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, boys and girls, next up is Injury Time, where we're going to preview the next week's action. We're also going to talk about the beers we've been drinking throughout the night. And we're going to check in on our adopted clubs and other leagues.
Absolutely.
Should somebody want to check out Injury Time, Sam, how do they go about doing it?
Quite simple, and it's one super $5 tier that you don't have to stick another flag on to do it. It is patreon.com/DUFootballShow. If you didn't see that floating around,
oh yeah,
go find it.
Was
It's
pretty
very
great.
funny. Jackassery, tomfoolery, on all the like. Patreon.com/DUFootballShow, and sign up to that one tier. You'll get Injury Time, the preview show, as we just mentioned, and Soundcheck, which is our pre-show actual soundcheck. We just kind of catch up about our weekend. There's a very funny joke on there that my daughter said this week.
Hysterical.
It's worth it. It is worth it. But it's just some extra content for you. It's pretty enjoyable.
Dare I
actually.
say high-class shithousery.
Correct. Then also the DU Drip Shack, which the link is in all of the bios on our social medias. But you can pick up cool shit like this tank top.
Or a Bance pillow.
Or a
back
Bance,
above my
hashtag
head.
Bance pillow, yep.
Absolutely.
I've fallen off a hashtag Bance. I gotta pick that back up.
Yeah, well, you're slipping.
I'm falling. And I can't get up.
Heard. Well, maybe you're not as professional as you like to think you are, Mr. Graham.
Maybe we need to change the going out song for the next show.
All right, boys and girls. Till next week.
Good night.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston. Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!